Brides and grooms, welcome to Weddy Guru's wedding planning classes, where we break down every element of your wedding planning journey. Our goal and really our joy, not just in these classes but here at Weddy Guru, is to simplify every step of your wedding planning journey, and therefore freeing up your time and your energy to focus on building the foundation for your lifelong marriage. And of course, not forgetting that you have the utmost fun on your wedding day. Let's reduce the stress so that you can have fun on your wedding day and even the days leading up to your wedding day. My name is Kimari Maina, a wedding planner here at Weddy Guru, and in this class we'll be talking about your vendors, your wedding partners, the people who you will charge the responsibility of making sure that you get your perfect wedding. So how do you choose the team of wedding professionals that you will charge the responsibility of delivering a perfect wedding? Before we talk about the things you need to check, let's look at the categories that you will need to fill in with vendors who will then deliver for you on the day of your wedding. We have broken them down into two categories. There are what we call the personal wedding vendors, and then there is what we call the on-the-day wedding vendors. Personal wedding vendors are vendors who are attending to your personal needs. So for example, your wedding band, the bride's gown, the groom's outfit, and every other accessory that you guys will be wearing, the honeymoon destinations, of course not forgetting the outfits for the bridal party, which are usually sometimes sourced from the same person, where the same person who is making the groom's outfit will make for the groomsmen, or the same person who's making the bride's outfit will make for the bridesmaids. Those are what we call the personal wedding vendors, and those are the categories that you need to fill in well in advance. Then there's what we call the on-the-day wedding vendors. Here we are talking about venues, whoever will do your setup and your decor, whoever will do your catering, your cake, your photography and cinematography, your master of ceremonies, your entertainers. It could be a DJ, it could be a live band, and of course they will come with their own sound. The invite cards and stationery. By stationery we mean everything that is going to be used at the gift table, so we call it the gift table wedding stationery. Vehicles, if you're hiring them, a wedding planner if you are not going to use a wedding planning team, and we will be discussing a wedding planning team later on, not in this class but in a class to come. Ushers, if these are not going to be from your friends, and then a security team, again, if this is not going to be from your friends. These are the categories you need to fill in with the right vendors for the wedding day, so then they can be able to deliver for you on the day of the wedding. Alright, so let's talk about the process of securing amazing wedding vendors who are going to help you deliver your dream wedding. First and foremost, it can never be said enough, visit these vendors live at a wedding, especially vendors like your decorator, your caterer, your MC, your entertainer, vendors whose work needs to be seen live. Please visit them live. Your venues, go to venues when a wedding is ongoing, as best as you can, which is why, by the way, we say give yourself 18 months to plan your wedding, because if you're going to visit at least 3 vendors per category, and here we're talking about 12 to 15 categories, those are 45 vendors who you need to vet. And if you're going to be visiting each and every single one of them, then give yourself time to be able to do so. Hence why we recommend start 18 months before the wedding. Perhaps we've belabored that point, so let me move. Visit these people so that you can be able to see their work live. And for vendors who you cannot visit to see them live at work, ask for their portfolio. So that's your photographer, your videographer. We ideally recommend that you don't ask portfolios from decorators and from caterers and from MCs and from DJs, because, well, and from planners, because we're good at selling. We know how to sell. We know exactly what you need to hear and see if we're going to put it together in a video or a profile so that you can be able to lock us down. But sometimes perhaps we're too good at selling compared to what we are delivering, and hence why we recommend come and see us live at work. That's how you see the finished product or the product live at work. But for those who, like photographers and videographers, ask for portfolios of their work so that you can be able to see what their finished product looks like. And you can do this by actually asking them to come with those finished products to any one of the meetings that you're going to be having with them, so that you can see, for example, the quality of photos, the quality of a photo book, and of course for videographers, for you to be able to see the quality of the output in a clip that they will send to you that perhaps they have posted somewhere online. So yes, portfolio review. The other thing that we recommend you do is ask for references. And references here could be two parts. You could ask your friends who have done their weddings before, or your family members who've done their weddings before, to send you numbers of those people they have used and to let you know genuinely what they thought about their services. Personally, I'll be more than happy as a groom to recommend vendors who came through for me. But vendors who did not come through for me, I will be quick to say, do not go with this person. At all costs, don't go with this person. So ask for references. The other way you can ask for references is by asking a vendor to give you the number or 3 numbers of 3 different customers or clients who they have served before. And then you can call these people and you can ask them questions about their wedding and how this vendor came through for them. So that's another way of asking for references. And then lastly, request for quotes. Remember first, and I think it should be mentioned, in the second class when we talked about budgeting, the quotes that the vendor that you are engaging right now, their quote should fit the budget that you have allocated for that particular category. So once you've allocated X amount of money for catering, now you're looking for a vendor that will fit that. So matter of fact, we should probably have started with get a quote from them first, or a general ballpark figure of how much they charge, so that then you can be able to visit them at a wedding, ask for their portfolio and ask for references. Lest you go through this entire process and you realize that that their price cannot fit in your budget. So get the price first before you go through the process of vetting them. Once you have vetted them and you go like, yes, I think I like this particular vendor, and if you're still torn deciding who is going to serve you on your wedding day, then we recommend that you share your vision with them. And then whichever vendor is going to come back and package your vision in the product they offer, then that is the vendor that you will go with. What do I mean by that? For example, if I share my vision with a decorator and I tell a decorator, this is what my wedding vision looks like. Again, remember, wedding vision is the first class we watched. So if you haven't watched that class, please go back and watch that class. This is the vision that I want, and this is my budget based on the second class that we went through. What can you give me based off that? Then they come back to you and they communicate their product with your vision in it. The vendor who is able to communicate that the best is the vendor to proceed with. And that is if you're still torn deciding on who to go with after you've already gone through the vetting process. I hope that's clear. There is a tool that we have put together that allows you to be able to write down or document your interaction with all the vendors, because there are many vendors you're going to interact with. Again, like I said before, there are 15 categories that you need to employ for your wedding day, and in each category perhaps you'll interact with 2 to 3 vendors. We're talking about 30 to 45 vendors that you're going to interact with. Well, look for the complete wedding tasks checklist, and in that checklist look for a sheet called the selection of potential vendors. That particular sheet will help you be able to document your interaction with each of the vendors that you engage before you choose who to deploy or who to employ, for your wedding day. And again, do check out the tutorial for the same. It will give you even more guidance on how to proceed. Now, once you've decided on who's going to be your wedding vendor, proceed then to get into a contract with them. We usually say the best way to be able to know that your contract is good is ask for 2 to 3 contracts from competing vendors. Now, ideally vendors should have these contracts available, but to be open and honest, talk to the vendors and tell them you are among my top 3 I would like a little bit more information so that we can be able to decide on who we're going to settle for. Please share with us your quote, and please share with us your terms or your contract, so that you can be able to compare the terms between different contracts. And as a pro tip, if you see there is a term that is favorable in vendor A that does not exist in vendor B, and you are inclined to moving with vendor B, consider asking for vendor B to offer you that particular term or to add that particular term to the contract. That is one way of negotiating. And if you are again negotiating for best price, remember, choose a wedding day, and that goes back to our class on how to choose the perfect wedding day. Choose a wedding day on months that have not been busy from past years. So for example, January, February and March are good months for you to do your wedding. May, June and July, again, fantastic months for you to do your wedding, because in those months you are not competing with other couples for the vendors. It's the other way around. Vendors are now competing with you. Different vendors are competing to secure your services or to secure your budget. And so choose the right month, and avoid dates like wedding day, holidays, because many couples do get married during holidays. Pick weekdays. Weekdays are perfect days for you to be able to do your wedding, when it is a weekday is almost viewed as a bonus day for most vendors, because you already have secured a Saturday wedding. But if you get an extra wedding on a Thursday or a Friday, even better. So that's another way for you to be able to secure a good deal as you negotiate contracts. Then once you have secured your vendor, please make sure to communicate the key dates that you will need to engage them. So for example, when are we going to be able to have a vendors meeting? It's important for the vendors to be able to meet, preferably physically on site 2 to 3 weeks before your wedding day, so that you can go through the entire plan for the day, and therefore each vendor can be able to say, this is what I need and this is the support I need, either from you as a couple or from another vendor. Communicate with the necessary vendors on when the rehearsals are going to be. So for example, your wedding DJ needs to know when your rehearsal will be, and then you can also agree on what the setup dates and time look like. By communicating these dates in advance, it helps you also be able to write down a calendar that then makes sure that those dates don't collide. Again, go back to the class we discussed, the wedding day, the class where we discussed selecting our wedding day. There is a document you can use to be able to document all these days leading up to your wedding day, so that you can be able to communicate the same to your vendors. There is a document that we recommend for you to use. It is called the Wedding Budget Calculator. The Wedding Budget Calculator is where you can be able to write down the selected vendors and how much you've agreed you need to pay them, how much you've already paid as a deposit, what the balance is, what the timelines are, etc. So please take note of the Wedding Budget Calculator and template. That is a useful tool for you to be able to track your payments with each vendor. Alright, that marks the end of this class. If you have any questions about selecting wedding vendors, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. We do periodically check our comment section to answer the questions you post there. But again, we invite you to the Weddy Guru Wedding WhatsApp community, where we answer your personal questions, not just about this topic, but about anything wedding planning. In this community, you also benefit from seeing answers to questions other couples are asking regarding wedding planning. So what are you waiting for? Scan the QR code displayed on the screen and sign up to join the community. The sign up link is also in the video description below. And in the event that you are looking for a wedding planner who will turn your wedding into an experience, let's talk. Call or WhatsApp us on 0725 883 553. Whatever your journey may be, it is our hope that this class is simplifying your wedding planning journey, allowing you to focus less on your wedding logistics and more on building the foundation for your lifelong marriage. My name is Kimari Maina, wedding planner here at Weddy Guru. See you in the next class.